In the sky, it's a bird, it's a plane. Flying high, I emerge through the flames. Have no fear, I'm here, so stand back. Melanin activate, the name is super black. In the sky, it's a bird, it's a plane. Flying high, I emerge through the flames. Have no fear, I'm here, so stand back. Melanin activate, the name is super black. Imagine that, a future that's super black. Long as your skin brown, your superpowers intact. What would your powers be? Just hope it ain't super whack. Spatial manipulation, create a portal that's black. Maybe just super speed, time travel to run it back. Or cheat manipulation to keep my spirit intact. As I encounter evils the world face, demons the world makes, I needed the world at stake. Rest in peace to Chadwick, they killed all the Black Panthers. Told us white lies, I still marvel at black answers. Suits in DC, pray it lead to a civil war. It ain't no Justice League, what's the need to be civil for? Propelled like the juggernaut, it's clear ain't no stopping this. The world in grave danger, who can stop the apocalypse? They killed all the heroes, the new ones don't really care. But if you need me, put your fist up in the air. Yeah, in the sky, it's a bird, it's a plane. Flying high, I emerge through the flames. Have no fear, I'm here, so stand back. Melanin activate, the name is super black. In the sky, it's a bird, it's a plane. Flying high, I emerge through the flames. Have no fear, I'm here, so stand back. Melanin activate, the name is super black.
Whoo! Welcome back to another episode, Thursday, 9 p.m. Well, 10 after, anyway. Welcome to another episode of Blurred's Eye View. I'm your host, Chris Fury, man on the wall. If you love what you're seeing, show your love on the YouTube channel. Hit that subscribe button and that notification bell. Go follow us on Instagram, and you'll find the link tree in the bio. You can follow us, well, everywhere, including always press record on your Amazon or Roku device. But without any further ado, let's get this party started. Let's bring it in, our weapons master, my second in command, Lady Mandalore.
Well, hello, good evening, everyone, everywhere, all at once.
All of that. So for those who, I want StreamYard, I want you to do something for me. I want StreamYard to allow me the access to record an item and stop, and then record it on the same link. I got ideas. What's going on, man?
It's my first week at the new job.
Oh, that's
first
right.
Week at the new job. Yeah,
that's right. You did say you were culling the herd, as it were, vacating the premises. And
yes, it's all right. I remember them. It's my job before the one that I just left. So
you know the folks. You know the layout. That's always a plus. That's always a plus. We have our Griot the horror. She watches the horror movie, so you don't have to. What's going on, lady? Big by
What's up? How are y'all doing? And congratulations, Lady Mandalore, getting back at old job, your new job. As long as you're happy, I'm here for it.
I'm paid, so yes.
Look here. Everything's died down. It's been about a week since the Slamageddon, Chairmageddon. Alabama Sweet Tea
walking
Party.
around with a folding chair. So that part.
I needed cinematic. I forgot Cinematic Assassin was taking this vacation this week, and I'm like, the one person I needed to demonstrate how the cocking of the hat and shooting it off.
Oh no, we can start demonstrate next Tuesday too, because this is timeless.
I got a folding chair.
I have one in the car.
I have two in the back right there.
Oh, wait, is this a secret? Is this a secret club that nobody?
Listen, we ready. We stay ready, and like I said, mine's in the car, so I stay ready. Let's go.
Yeah, stay ready, so you ain't got to get ready. Very own.
Wait, you're mute. Wait, you're muted. Wait, you're muted. Okay.
There's a reason, because I don't have a folded chair. I have an Obi.
Listen, that's even better. You got a Jedi.
Yeah, there it is.
Yeah, well, he learned to swing on people, so I don't know where he got that from. He's swinging on everybody.
Oh my God!
His daddy makes Jehovah's Witness, cops, and professional
neighbors and everyone.
There you go. Everybody, you thought that he was
It was funny. I got told, it's like, your child swings on people. I was like, I'm not mad.
Not take my blood. Not take my blood. What?
I mean, we like the dark side. We have cookies over here, so you know.
Listen,
Fair.
Yeah, cheer food Saturday lessons every Saturday. Instructor Hellspawn.
Hellspawn, he's the new dust operator. He
is the sit food of chair food. So you might want to
Yes.
pay
that
attention.
one was crazy.
Yo,
Watching his videos.
he's got a niche. He might
There
be
you
on
go.
to something.
He's on to something,
facts.
definitely.
the
Definitely.
chair lessons. I was like, yeah, you're right. From a defensive standpoint,
Right?
you guys stick with the light side.
Right?
He's like-
And I'm
he's
like,
like-
okay, so if I
The
use a chair,
curvature
I know how
of
to do it.
the curvature of the backrest and the boom, the
Mhm.
slide, the boom. I'm like, you know what?
You gotta know your power swing, your power swings, your power shots.
Side
Mhm.
steps and everything else. We have a special guest with us tonight. His name is Marcus V. Jardim. He is here to talk about his new book and his Kickstarter campaign about Toussaint Louverture. And let me tell you, I want some of this action. We're gonna bring in
Right.
Marcus.
Hey,
Hello.
welcome.
We are going to talk about this book in a minute in your Kickstarter because this is such. I love what's going on. I'm catching a bit of a trend. You know, we've seen it with the Harriet Tubman Vampire Hunter or Demon Slayer, Harriet Tubman Demon Slayer. Now we got Toussaint hunting vampire. I like it. I like it a lot.
Yeah, I'm looking forward.
And it's teaching you history at the same time. Lovecraft Country. So I'm just saying this is very cool. But how's it going, my guy?
Thank you. Yeah, I'm very happy for the opportunity you guys gave me to be here, to be able to talk about my comic book. To be honest, I'm a little nervous because I'm not like.
We'll take care of
What's
that.
that?
We'll take care of that. We'll take care of
You'll be
that.
all right.
We'll
You'll
take
be
care of
fine.
that.
You'll
Be
be
cool.
fine.
Be straight. We ain't gonna let you do nothing or say nothing wild unless you want to, and it's good for views. And then you get more views for your Kickstarter. So let's do
There
it.
it
Let's
is.
do it.
So there's been a couple things in the news that's been jumping off, which I can honestly say I was a little bit surprised and glad at the same time. So why don't we talk about a bit of the news? So, as we all know, that we lost Lance Reddick earlier this year. He was kind of the man in everything. He was also the voice of Zavala in Destiny, and it has just been announced today that Silver Throat himself, Keith David, will be taking over that role.
Good choice.
I couldn't think of a better person.
Yeah. Who else are you gonna get?
Yeah.
Why? Why would you even
Why?
pay yourself?
I mean, you need comfort in commanding. It's either him or Dennis Haysbert, and I'm like, that's the only two people I can think of.
Only two people that matter.
Right, that part.
I feel too safe with Dennis Haysbert. I feel presidential. He is a little too presidential.
I don't know. I think
because he is. That's why.
Yeah. As a guardian, I feel safe with my Titan saying, "Are you good? Are you in good hands?" I am now.
Oh, yeah, that's because Dennis Haysbert, he's pre-Obama. He was pre-Obama before Obama. It is.
Yeah.
I definitely say that all the time.
It was just like, he was. I'm like, yo, Jack Bauer protected the hell out of him. You know,
Man.
so it was a time to be had. Also, in other news, unfortunately, we lost another person this week, Johnny Hardwick, who plays the voice of Dale Gribble on King of the Hill. He passed away. No details as to what happened. He was 64. Yeah, 64 years old. It passed. It's like a lot of legends, people that's in the mainstay of a lot of stuff that we grew up and watching. You know, he was on the entire, except for one episode of King of the Hill. He helped write and do the entire run of King of the Hill. They were in talks of doing, I think it's like 258 episodes. He did 257. So there were talks of a reboot happening. Well, not a reboot, I guess you can call it a continuation. no word on if he was doing the voice again, or even if he is, if the lines were recorded. So there's no word on that just yet. So, just lost Pee Wee. Jesus.
Right.
Oh God.
Yep,
Oh wow. Why'd you remind me? Oh.
you gotta, I mean, yeah. Dale taught me that being paranoid was completely normal.
Yes. Yes. Although John Redcorn, the whole ordeal with John Redcorn, that's always funny to me.
That just mine, Susan gets a lot of headaches. I'm thankful for that John Redcorn. I'm thankful for it. And everybody stares at him like, bruh.
If he only knew. Poor John Redcorn. Just if he
Poor
only
Dale.
Poor Dale, exactly. So in the streaming wars, that's getting ready to continue on. I guess Disney Plus is now the latest streaming service to crack down on their password sharing starting next year. Well,
low price of $80.
Let me strap on this Luffy jacket.
Yo, B, I'm about to sail the high seas right along with y'all. I've been a proponent against it, but y'all bugging.
There's always room on the boat. There's always room on the boat.
It's just
I don't like that.
I hate that they're doing that. I really hate that they keep changing stuff like that. It's no necessary reason for it. And and speaking of Disney, speaking of people who okay, so what he said, so what Bob Iger said this time isn't bad. He actually was saying something that made sense prior to what he said before. He says he's more concentrated on taking the properties they currently have and making them with more quality, not quantity. I'm okay with that.
No shit, my guy. What?
All I gotta say is how many times did they go to a PR person?
You might want to pay your people first before you even think about doing
no shit, my guy. What?
It's funny. It's funny he says that, and yet all the people on strikers looking at him like, yeah,
so
just one little problem that you might want to solve. The same people that kind of made you money, you might want to make sure they're taken care of first.
Yeah.
You know what happens when you raise the quality of something? You also increased its costs, sir.
But they don't. For somebody that gets paid $78,000 a day, I wish.
Damn.
Number 5 highest paid CEO in the U.S.
I wish. I just need.
Wow.
That's really all I need.
That's insane.
It's crazy, but it's not surprised. It said that they see what Netflix is doing. Netflix is slowly turning a profit with this password sharing. So Disney and Hulu, Disney / Hulu, Dulu will probably be turning around doing the same thing. I wouldn't be sad. Look, it's only a matter of time. However, VPN is still available.
You're right, Verb. That is corporate talk. Because here's the thing. You first started off putting your whole foot and ass in your mouth by stating that you'll starve out your artists and your writers or whatever. In which Ron Perlman rightfully,
that was Clay Morrow. I'm sorry,
that was Clay. Yeah,
that was Clay Morrow. Anarchy. That was not.
He literally retorted in a very kind, light way. But for him to sit up there and say that, and then turn around and say you're going to be concentrated more on quality. Oh, dude! In order to concentrate on your quality, you shouldn't overwork and underpay your people.
Yep.
I mean, there's a reason why. Actually, there's a reason why Star Wars and Clone Wars and all those shows, and then Avengers and all the MCU stuff worked up into and it still works. Don't get me wrong, but it worked up to a certain point. Because see, you've seen something, and you're like, oh, we got to have more of that. We got to have more of that. Yes, do we want more? Of course, but we don't want it in the sake of the quality of it all. There's a reason why Love and Thunder didn't do as well as it should have. The VFX was bad, and the storyline was. I mean, we kind of knew part of the story, but it was kind of forced. Is that the best way to say it?
Yeah.
It was.
Yeah. I was, okay, so sometimes we have things that go on in the background, and I was fully typing and half listening, so I apologize.
No, I was looking at the chat. I'm like looking at the chat. I'm looking at the computer. I'm looking at you. I need a twin. Is what I need.
Yeah. I need my second in command over here.
Yes, I mean, but it's fair to say that we obviously seen what happened with VFX artists and what's going on there. We've seen what happens when you take the writing from a movie or a show and see how it lacks. You miss certain marks because you're trying to meet a need. You don't have to. There's nobody you have to beat. You've won us. Now you just need to keep our attention. And I'm still on board with you making your shows for Disney Plus, whether it's in Star Wars or Marvel. I'm all on board for that. Just take your time.
But in order to take your time, you must pay your people.
Exactly.
Pay them well. Give them dividends. Give them a piece of the Scrooge McDuck vault that you dip in on a daily basis.
Somewhere Scrooge McDuck is shaking his head. It's like you should have had a vault. You should, and then you can pay people. You should have had a vault. I don't. He probably does. He just doesn't swim in it.
I think he's got that Breaking Bad. He just has a room full of money. He just goes in and stares at.
Smells the air and then walks back out. I'm missing $10 million. So I think they can do better. It's commendable that it's not even commendable. It's just common sense for him to say something like that. It's what we've always wanted.
People have been saying for how many years has Marvel been half-assing it? Yeah. Just on the Marvel and not even talking about. I said it, and
I mean, you ain't wrong, but
I mean, COVID aside, we'll let that one slide. We understand that part. That was out of your control.
But they had them stories.
But even then,
had them stories laid up.
Yeah, but even then, you were like, all right, we're under the gun. What do we do? What do we do? Don't force the issue.
But it's interesting that we did not know how bad the situation was behind Disney with the voice artists, the visual effects people. We did not know about the strenuous deadlines they were under and the burnouts and the everything. I mean, we did not know about this. I mean, imagine that all this has been happening since the beginning and we're just finding out now. So who knows how long that fire has been burning until it hit a critical point.
You better believe it was happening before that time.
Yeah.
At least since probably Avengers. That's happening for a while.
I can agree. It's just Endgame has been kind of, I expected the next chapter. They did say, hey, this next chapter is an introduction. We're ending one chapter. We're starting a new one with new characters. That's fine. That's fine. You went a different direction. That's fine too. You had a couple pluses in that venue. Miss Marvel is one of them. What If is another one. WandaVision, another one. Loki, fantastic. So these, Secret Invasion is not horrible, at least in my eyes.
It's the experimental phase. It's like, okay,
it's very.
We had a whole nice little lineup for 10 plus years of safe but profitable movies. So now it's like, okay, we gotta go to the experimental phase. We gotta go to we're not sure if this is gonna work, or we're not sure if you're not gonna like it, but we're just gonna, be that Disney machine to keep cranking it out. And I'll even give Kira credit on this because she was the first person that said it. It was the fact that you keep on going, you keep on doing another after another after another after another, and you don't give the audience time to breathe. And that's the reason why it's been crappy. So I will give Kira credit for that. I will agree with her that, yes, I will give you credit. Mark this down. August the 10th.
That sounded way too refreshingly.
I will mark this down. I agree with Kira. August the 10th, 9:29 p.m. I will agree. I will say I agree with her. We have it on record.
I've made a note of the date and time.
There it is.
Thank you, sir.
If anything, we keep receipts around here on this ship.
Right.
But then it's fine. it's fine. You know, even with the case of Secret Invasion, I could see where they wanted to go with it.
Mm-hmm.
Personally, I would have reached out back to the Russo brothers. As a matter of fact, I think they showed interest in wanting to do that.
But
because you've done the espionage spy thing, so it shouldn't have been a problem the second time around.
I think Netflix threw more money at them. I think
they were tired of them interfering with them telling the stories.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's been a major part, and I honestly I'd love to see the difference between when Marvel was its own individual property and then when Disney actually fully got involved with things, because I think that's when things were like, okay, well, y'all were cute when y'all were by yourselves doing all this. Now I need y'all to put out or get out
the content. I need you this. I need, and it's like, no, build your story. You have enough. I'm okay with Secret Invasion, and I'm just using this as an example. I'm okay with it not being like the book. I'm okay with that. You don't want to burn out and say, oh, it's all the heroes again. No, let's deal with some of this other stuff.
Right.
You know, and let's put this political intrigue into the play and back to the spy and the espionage and trying to solve what was going on with Nick Fury. That was fine.
Groundwork.
Yeah, that was fine. Him being married, that's fine. I have the nice twist. Matter of fact, her and Gaia, badasses. I was fine with all of that.
Until you killed Talos.
You didn't. You killed Talos and you killed Maria Hill, and you did. It was no payoff there.
That part.
I wanted payoff,
especially for Maria. For me,
yeah.
Like Maria put in that time. She was even on Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. and other stuff. Like she put in that time, and y'all did nothing for her. And I think it didn't make any sense. The way that they did it, I'm like, maybe she's coming back in Marvels, and maybe they didn't kill her off. Or something like that. I'm like, I don't understand how that happened.
It makes no sense.
I'm like, you left her, and then Talos, and it was like, yo, I was actually liking Talos even in Captain Marvel because he had a funny edge to him, and then watching him, he was funny here, he was funny in No Way Home, and then here he's serious. In the conversations they have, and I'm like, Ben Mendelsohn, number one, can act his ass off. So I'm not taking. So I was like, these conversations, those were great scenes. There were some really great talking points.
He was an opposite character next to Fury. That's the thing about. That's what made it. I mean, his whole standout thing was when we first saw him in Captain Marvel, it's like, I'm not really a bad guy. He's eventually, and it's kind of funny. He's in there and says, he's like, eventually at all this, we're going to wind up being friends as he's getting kicked out of the ship. That was the funny part. And he's one of those characters that I thought would still be around just because we've gotten in, like most characters, we get invested in them. We got invested in Talos. We got invested in Gaia. We got invested really for the most part in Agora. We got invested in him. I just can't get past the whole thing of saying, you pimped us, Fury. I can't get past the British accent. That's killing me. You pimped us, Fury.
I mean, he did though.
He did. I mean, he's a spy. It's what he does. And I can let that slide because that's what happens. It's the spy game. You kind of playing chess and not checkers here. So,
but yes, Disney, Bob Iger, we completely agree with you in the fact that you need to get back to making quality content. But you might want to address the growing protests that are outside the Magical Kingdom and other places right now. That is, constantly growing.
Yeah.
Or the fact that you have no sources for your content that you'd like to improve upon. You need people to do that, boo.
Yeah, you don't want to shit on your writers. You don't want to do that. They're the one that create the content. They're the one that actually get what you're looking for. Let them work. Just pay them. Figure out the streaming shit, please.
Actually, you know what they need? Kevin Feige needs to do the same thing Gunn did to Warner Brothers. You need to put up a line and a gun line and say you don't cross it. Yeah. You can do whatever you want on this side, but on our side, you do not interfere.
Yeah,
Feige should be doing the same. Feige should be doing the same thing with Disney. Anything Marvel related, you cannot interfere with.
Disney will not let that happen.
Yeah, it's too late.
Bad part.
Yeah, I was about to say Disney will not let that happen. That is a big ass money machine. They got too much power at this point.
Well, see, the thing is, and when you say that, I remember when Age of Ultron came out, And at the time, I think this was the third Avengers film, correct? I think that Age of Ultron was the third Avengers film.
Yeah.
And or was it the second? Was Civil War?
Second.
Third? Yeah, second.
It was the second. I'm sorry.
Civil War came after that. Yeah. Or Captain America was third. Okay, that's why. And at its time, it was its weakest performing Avengers film.
Mm-hmm.
However, when they said it's our weakest performing film, but it made $1 billion, over $1 billion.
That's when we should know it was greed. We should have known it was greed right there. We should have known.
You know, one of those things is just like, wait a minute, guy. That's not exactly how that works. You know,
I feel like that was more of a flex, though. Yeah. I feel like he was saying, "Oh, we've made a mere pittance of what we're accustomed to." Like I feel like he was trying to.
It's like he's telling.
It's not a good sound either way, but
it's a flex, but it's a flex, but it's not a good.
It just sounds like somebody who has too much money that whines. What did Age of Ultron make there, Jeeves? We've made $1 billion, sir. $1 billion? How long has this been going on? How long has it been in the movies? $1 billion. $1 billion. Sleeping Beauty. Sir, Sleeping Beauty was over 30 years ago. Pish posh.
Pish posh. I'm counting dollar bills over here. Why is there dollar bills in my stack? You know,
I see a 1 and a 20. How dare you?
But I really do in the case of the writers and the actors, I hope what they're looking for they get. Mm-hmm. You know, we are getting ready to hit that dry spell. People don't know. Y'all don't know.
Winter is coming.
Oh yeah,
a great season for comics.
Yeah,
it's gonna be a great season for rewatch.
It's gonna be dry. If you see Hollywood Shuffle, it's like Keenan Ivory Wayans without his
make a comeback for real.
His wave juice. He is gonna be gone. It's gonna be gone. Y'all gonna be wishing. Y'all gonna see more reality shows than y'all can shake a stick at, and it's gonna make you sick.
Don't know what you got till it's gone.
Probably this time next year.
And game shows.
I give it to this time next year.
The reality shows gonna come out the woodwork. You ain't lying.
God, it's the age of Flavor of Love all over again.
Dang, not the snort.
Put it back.
Flavor of Love.
How you feeling over there, Marcus? You good?
And to be honest, I haven't been following the news since I launched the Kickstarter. Mm-hmm. So you guys have more over this. I just saw recently, everybody was talking about Alabama, and then I started seeing memes and stuff. I'm like, whoa. And I'm like, okay, I'm done with news. I'm back to
He's like, oh, this is what I missed. I'll throw that away.
But I definitely support the protest of writers and artists.
Yeah. We need, without writers, really, people were complaining, oh, well, they can just, no, you don't understand. Without the writers, you have no show. You have no film. You have no content.
Thank you, lady.
Yeah.
You don't got shit.
I don't understand that. You ain't got shit.
Yeah.
It's not that hard to understand. Laney said it. You don't have shit. You can't make up anything because you're not going to write it.
Exactly.
And if you do, it ain't going to be.
It's
not they're going to bank on Terminator writing it. That's what they're going to bank on.
Like I said, it's bad when Jeopardy has to go on reruns. That's how you know it's bad.
Oh, only thing they can do is you can show off how well your memory is at that point. That's about it.
And they don't have a lot of reruns because Trebek unfortunately just passed within 1 year. So
Trebek was witty and
he ain't got that much.
Lord.
It's gonna be a fun time.
Yeah, it is. So we're gonna take a little break. We're gonna come back. We're gonna talk to our guest Marcus Jardim. We're gonna talk about Toussaint, history of Toussaint, Louvetet. We're going to talk about this new Kickstarter, this book, this art, which is fantastic. Mm-hmm. I love it. I love this stuff. I do love seeing stuff with history mixed in with our nerddom. It does my heart proud because how do you this is how you introduce more people. But we'll talk about that after this break. Running low on energy, long days and even longer nights, tired of all the other energy drinks and bars promise you a lot and never delivering? Need to make it through work, but want a product that can keep up with your busy lifestyle? Want no longer? Try Chef's Chocolate Salty Balls. The balls that are so smooth and with a load of nutrients and vitamins to really get you up and bouncing off the walls. Made with all natural ingredients and healthy junk to satisfy even the pickiest eater. Chef's Chocolate Salty Balls are sold everywhere where you buy your junk. And now for those who want that extra kick in the butt, comes Chef's Heavy Duty Chocolate Salty Balls with 120% more caffeine than the leading brand. Disclaimer, this product has not been approved by the FDA or World Health Association. Warning, this product is not intended for consumption by children, elderly people, or women who are pregnant or may become pregnant. You might even get pregnant.
This just in.
Feeling groggy in the morning? Coffee just can't give you that pep in the step that you're looking for? Try Pop Starts for that great get up and go that adults need. Pop Starts has the vitamin and nutrients that only grown-ups can partake in, and with flavors such as tossed salad and scrambled eggs, and Jack Daniels and Bud Light flavors to start your day or end it. There's nothing better to wake up to unless you count that depressing cubicle job. Well, anyway, try Pop Starts today. Pop Starts is not part of the Kellogg's Corporation. Pop Starts could give you diarrhea. Pop Starts are not found in your local grocery store. Yeah, there's something wrong with us. That's
nothing wrong with us.
But it's okay. It's okay. It's okay. We have our guest here tonight, Marcus V. Jardim. He has this amazing Kickstarter in this amazing book, and I'm gonna show a few of the pages as well, about Toussaint Louverture. He is a historical figure. He was part of the slave uprising in Haiti. He also he made himself leader of the Hispaniola at that time, but he put a nice little spin on it. So Marcus, let's talk about this book, and I'm gonna pull up the image right quick. But let's talk about this book, man, because dude, it looks amazing. Here's the special cover that we have right here, which, by the way,
is nice.
Veteran artist. How do you say his name? Del Gilch.
Yeah.
Okay.
My own. So I can.
So this, but yeah, this is a dope cover. This is just one of the covers. But this cover here is, and he was asking me, he said, use the special one for the promo. But when I looked at the other ones, I'm like, the other ones look great, but this one is boss. I like this. It's giving me Blade vibes. So let's talk about this book, man. How did you come up with this idea?
Yes. Okay. So
your sound went out a little bit.
Yeah, that cover was illustrated by Yovel Guichet. He's a Haitian American artist. He's a veteran in the industry. He illustrated what works for Marvel, and he comics Black Panther, Black Lightning, Batman, Superman, Aquaman. And, I'm a newcomer to comics. This is my first comic book ever, so I'm very happy that he gave me the opportunity to talk about my story. And once I talked to him about the story, he was excited to work with me. This is the first time that he had the opportunity to draw Toussaint before the hero and form. So I'm happy to work. And so growing up, I they did, like, I'm from Brazil, and when I came to the United States, it was a bit difficult for me to adapt because I didn't know any word in English, and I saw they really liked the Brazilian soccer team, and I really appreciated the love, and I interacted with them, had good relations. But fast forwarding to college, I'm really into history, and I specialize in Afro-Brazilian history. When I was in college, that's what I did my research on. I was under the guidance of Professor Kelly Jackson. I don't know if you guys heard about her, but she was in a documentary Roots. I'm guessing you guys are familiar with that. Yeah, so I focus on Afro-Brazilian resistance, during the transatlantic slave period, and for my research paper. And there was a big rebellion, the biggest rebellion and urban rebellion in the Americas was in Brazil, in Salvador, Bahia. And it was inspired by the Haitian Revolution. They had like necklaces, they had like images of Toussaint and references to Haiti.
Right.
Salvador Bahia is considered the Afro-Brazilian capital, and Brazil has the biggest black population after Nigeria, and so it was a big thing. So I was very impressed. So I started like seeing how Haiti has such a huge impact in history. And one of the things, because prior to going to college, I in public school, they always teach about mostly white American history. It was always George Washington, Abraham Lincoln, awesome guy who wanted to liberate the enslaved people, and then World War II, liberate the world. Brief section, Martin Luther King had a dream, and present times, and then repeat. So,
yes, that's exactly
all right.
That's exactly how they say it. That's exactly how they teach it.
That's the cult for you. Yeah.
Yeah. So, as somebody who's into history, this kind of bothered me. So that's why when I was in college, I decided to study different things, open my mind, to things that interest me. This was the topic that interested me, and another thing that bothers me is how Haiti is often negatively portrayed in the media.
That's
yeah, over and over. And I think, well, yeah. So then then after I graduated college, I went to do my master's in social work. So I put the history aside for a bit because I had to focus on mental health. And then during the pandemic, everybody was at home, and I was at home like everybody else, and I had time to think. And I always been a storyteller. I always really liked telling stories. I just kind of put that aside to focus in school, because it was a lot of hard work, and for me, I had to put actual work to keep up with the papers and all that. So then I had the idea. I like telling stories, and I guess it just came to me. I just had like the spirit of I incorporated the spirit of creativity, and I decided to get into comics. And then I thought, which story can I tell that I could like introduce people to a history topic that they might not be so familiar with.
Right.
I thought perfect, and I'm seeing the era. I'm a big fan of Black Panther, and I'm starting to see there's more diversity. There still needs to be work in diversity in the superhero universe.
Right.
And I thought, I just came to, I just thought, how about make a story about a real life black, hero, superhero in a way, because Toussaint Louverture defeated Napoleon's army.
Mm-hmm.
He led. Everybody's talking about this new Napoleon movie. It seems cool, but nobody's talking about how Toussaint, and the Haitians defeated Napoleon army. But not only that, the British and the Spanish Empire,
Mm-hmm.
and my editor, the editor that I work with, she's Haitian American, and this is somebody that I know personally. So I had a talk with her, and then we're like, let's make this story together.
Mm-hmm.
So we created like a fictional story about a revolution against vampires, but with references to the Haitian Revolution,
Mm-hmm.
and Haitian history in general, in a way to not only entertain readers through a horror slash action story, but also introduce them to this important topic that I believe is important for people to know. Haiti is the world's first Black republic, and what they achieved in history, is no small achievement, and important.
So this is like for our viewers and for our listeners, this is our education part of the show. We gonna give you some education. That's our encourage, educate, entertain. That's our thing.
Mm-hmm.
Toussaint Louverture led a successful slave revolt, emancipated the slaves in the French colony of Saint Domingue, or otherwise known as Haiti. A formidable military leader, he turned the colony into a country governed by former Black slaves as a nominal French protectorate, and made himself ruler of the entire island of Hispaniola.
Mm-hmm.
People like him, people like Marcus Garvey, people like Harriet Tubman, the stories that you don't really get to hear about people who fought back, who don't have the battle for New Orleans exactly. And if you're watching live, the Kickstarter is up on the page, and it's also in the chat. So go show your love at the Kickstarter. But when you read about the stories about us, about Black and brown people who really did fight back, who really did try to make a difference, and really did make a difference. Not try to, they did make a difference, but it gets buried under unfortunately.
Bullshit.
Yeah, it gets buried because they don't want that next generation to learn, what it is that we contributed, what our people contributed to the cause, to the betterment of our people. And like you said, Marcus, they always do paint Haiti and certain parts of Africa and just anything that involves us in Black and brown people in negative connotations.
Mm-hmm.
And people, I have friends that have gone to Africa, even lived over there, and say, yeah, it's nothing like what they're showing. There's people that gone to Haiti, it's like it's nothing what they're showing. It's nothing like this. People in South America, nothing what they're showing or how they paint it on media. It's nothing like that. So it does my heart proud when I see projects, and this crew here, we're a big proponent of Lovecraft Country. Shout out to Misha Green, because that was a one way of saying, hey, let's tell this story of science fiction. Let's tell this story of horror and adventure and all this other stuff. But let's put some historical context into it, and it's going to make people talk. It's going to make people look up this information and find all this stuff and find out why. Wow, I didn't know this happened. Wow, I didn't know that went down. Wow, I didn't know this person existed.
Just sprinkle some history. Sprinkle.
It's just a little bit of truth. A little bit of truth.
That's all it takes.
That's all it takes. Mm-hmm. That's why when I was looking at that, I was like, okay, because I do know a little bit about Haiti. I'm like MJ, what you've done is just the fact that you're taking history, and I was like, okay, vampires. I thought about it the first time I saw it, I said, Battling vampires, and then I looked more into it. I was like, I like what he did with this because it's not for one, the art is freaking amazing. I am a big proponent on art, especially in comics, because words can only do so much, but put words with art, you got it made. And shout out to the multiple artists that are associated with your project, because man, I mean, just like Chris pointed out, just showing up there, the cover will immediately grab people's attention before they even read the words, because you'll see a guy, you literally see a guy, and then you look at the words and going, wait a minute, what? And that's all you need. That's the hook that brings them in, and then they want to learn more. And like you said, when you see countries like Haiti, when you see Africa or Sierra Leone or Freetown or just any of these countries that, people look at that and go, oh, I was watching on National Geographic. It's so bad that you people are so backwards. No, it is like Chris said, it is completely different when you get to see it through your own eyes. And there is such a freaking melting pot of history, of culture, of just things that are buried under BS. I know I shouldn't be cussing, but things that are buried under bullshit.
That's what it is.
Because that's the thing. They don't want to talk about, oh, slaves rebelled? Yes. And won. and governed better than you did. I mean, it is amazing that, like we said, you sprinkle a little bit of history into a written story, and you'll get not only people thinking, but you get people wanting more. And I think like you have that with this. That's the reason why I'm just like, oh, I'm looking forward to seeing where you go with this, just because the narrative is just it's grabbing. I mean, but then again, it also, vampires will grab anybody, but a black dude fighting vampires, and you're making him the hero of the story. Cool.
That's a whole different ball game you get going.
Yeah.
I just hope the vampires, first of all, are the French. Okay, I hope very much that. Second of all, to y'all's point, like I was a history major in college, so I got to be able to see some of the different stories of how we are strong and how that's never taught in school, because they're always going to teach the non-violence of everything. You know what I mean? And I even as I'm at my school now, when we do Black History, I almost never say, I don't want y'all to focus on Martin Luther King, Rosa Parks. You're going to hear about them all the time. We need to focus about every person that you're not going to hear about. Okay, I'm here to show you that. And that's what I love about this comic. And because I'm Haitian American too, when I first saw this, I was like, this is so dope. So amazing.
This gets conversations going.
Yes.
Go ahead, lady.
I mean, the art. First of all, if you didn't have a title or anything on there, I'd still be picking up this book. The art by itself is spectacular. Shout out to the colorists, the line, whoever, everybody that's involved in this is imperative to this comic book. It's the luck that you have is so, you have a lot of luck. You have a lot of luck, and I wish you more, because I want to see more of this. And I like the fact that this could be something that is told or given to kids in different class. Well, maybe not kids. High school kids of a certain age. Yeah, those kind of kids. Not the teeny babies, the bigger babies.
You can't have the 4-year-olds running around. Well, maybe you can.
I mean, I can't promise that my 11, when she becomes 11-year-old, that she might not.
I mean, be on the lookout for the French. Y'all vampires.
Listen, exactly. Listen.
Real.
That boy gonna be real suspect.
No.
Like, where did you learn to wield a sword? You know.
Like, look at that.
Jedi classes.
Quality.
That's the
Yeah.
I remarkable.
This is really, really good, man. I gotta say, the art, the wording grabbed me. Just the fact that the it's all there, and we don't get enough of this. It says a lot, you know. So I thank you. Number one, I hope you have more in the tank, because it's fun, you know. I when I see stuff like this, because we've seen something 7 years ago where it was Abraham Lincoln Vampire Hunter.
Yeah,
it's cheesy.
They didn't go far enough.
Yeah, they did exactly.
They didn't go far enough.
They didn't go far enough, but I was like, I like the idea of them doing that, you know. And now we have Harriet Tubman, Demon Slayer, you know, and now we have Toussaint Louverture, who's hunting vampires and freeing the people, and it's just, yo, I like this, man. Like, I don't know how else to put it.
We want to see. It would be nice to have a story where we win. We don't get that. We don't get that. Like, can I get one? Can I get one just to be told, like, it's okay for us to win sometimes, aside from us fighting amongst one another, having that narrative be something that's drilled in my head constantly? I'd like to see us win, and this is that.
I mean, when
vampires.
I mean, when you say that, Lady Mandalore, I think about what just happened in Montgomery. You know, this was a situation where we won. We seen someone of our kind being ostracized, being beaten, being assaulted, and we did something about it. You know, so it feels good to have that win, and for people to say, hey, you know, we aren't what the media portrays us to be. That, you know, we were never like that. Like, there was a reason why Black Panthers existed. There was a reason why all these factions that really was trying to look out for their neighborhood, their community, their country, you know, to say, hey, this matters. You know, we matter. You know, that's all good that you have your history, but so do we. We have ours, and we want to hear about it. And this is a good way, like this right here, this book is a fantastic way. And I find that when you spoon feed people, not just kids, but people, when you spoon feed people certain bits of information, it makes them, you know, if it grabs them, if it's inclined in them, it grabs them, it makes them want to go and say, I need to know more. Like, this story was amazing, but I need to know more about this actual person.
Like, like what is actually true? Like, I know obviously he's not a vampire hunter, but what makes this particular person in history so, why do I need to know about this person? What did they actually do? Is there something more? Like, that's what pulled me into libraries as a kid, to go and search. I had wonderful teachers.
I wasn't born in Haiti, but I do love Black history. I love Black history. Like,
wherever you can get it, give it to me, please.
Yeah.
And that's the whole purpose of the story. As you know, it's not a history book or a history comic. It's into you know, action/horror, but with historical references. So, you know, and then hopefully and spark the interest of people to learn more about it.
Right.
It's a gateway. It's a gateway.
Right.
It's a gateway.
It sparks curiosity.
Yeah. I mean, I mentioned Lovecraft Country. It's literally, it's a gateway. You know, you found something that was based in historic fact in every episode. So here you have a character, the lead character, who is an actual figure, an actual human being who did cause an uprising and free slaves, and gave them a country that they can build upon, you know, and beat other armies, like you mentioned Napoleon, all these other, like, you mean to tell me the French beat everybody? No.
Napoleon had some L's. He had some L's.
Everybody except for the Haitians.
I was just about to say, yep.
I'm about to say the Haitians.
He caught that big L.
And I only know that, rest in peace, Miss Lockley. But when I was in high school, and she taught history. She was my history teacher, and just like you said, Marcus, the way they teach history in school, they got these in sections, and then when it comes to Black history, Malcolm, Marcus, Rosa.
They stick to
and that's only if you get Malcolm.
Frederick.
Frederick.
Again, if you get Frederick, you'll get Sojourner sometime before you get Frederick.
That's fair.
Yeah, so
and Martin Luther King is just like a small section, and it was like
that part.
Yeah,
that part. You're not getting the uprisings at all.
No,
whether it be stateside or not, you're not getting that.
Right. So this is what I enjoy about it.
Yeah, and it's like Martin Luther King was more than just he was more than just a dreamer. He did a lot more than that one speech on that.
Yeah,
exactly.
Yes, get a lot.
That.
There's a whole other speech.
Yeah,
there's a whole other speech that I don't think many folks are ready to hear,
but or allowed to hear,
or even allowed to hear.
Oh, that speech in school.
He was ready after everything. He was just like, you know what, I messed up. This ain't it.
Not the one on capitalism.
Listen, because when it talked about uniting the poor, okay, they was okay about him talking about don't beat up Black people. But then when you talking about uniting the poor, stop
going too far
thinking that you are different from Black folks because poor is poor.
Look what Fred Hampton was doing. He was uniting people of different races and say, hey, look, we are really all in the same boat. And when that bigger faction was like,
they saw a problem happening. It's like, wait a second, I've always loved that movie Ants. I always loved that ant movie where he was like, do you understand what happens if the ants learn that the ants learn there are more of them than us?
Yeah,
it will turn on us.
Like they literally tell you the number of the rich versus poor every day. They're the 1%, 1 or 2%. That says a lot. Like that means we have the numbers. It was just
only goes to show you one day.
So like I said before, you're right. So like I said before, if you're watching live, the Kickstarter is in the chat. It's also here live on the screen. So you want to go over and check out that Kickstarter. Show your love. Get some of that action. Get this Toussaint Louverture, The Battle for New Orleans #1. Are you going to be doing more books like this?
Me? Yes. I have.
Oh, he said it quick too. I love it.
Yeah. What you talking about, man? Yeah.
Yeah, that's the goal. I mean, I have other stories too, but I wanted this one to be the first one because of the, I think it's a very important history and social message behind it. But I have other stories planned out. I just have to get through the Kickstarter really too, because I appreciate, I'm very happy to get the feedback for the art because I put in a lot of hard work. This comic book has been over a year in the making. This is mostly due because before finding this team, it took me a while. I tried working with artists before who couldn't illustrate Black characters properly, unfortunately, and this was something that really is a big thing for me. Not only for me but for my Haitian editor as well. So it took some time to be able to find the team. I'm glad that I did. My main artist is from Brazil. His name is Gabriel Jardim. He does a lot of work depicting Afro-Brazilian art and comics. The colorist, it was Bree Souza. It was his recommendation because I told him that I want a colorist that could properly color Black characters. One of the things for me is because people of African origin, they're not just one color, like one dark shade that some artists out there do. And he's like, oh, I know this one, she's very good at that, she's Afro-Brazilian, and I believe mixed with indigenous as well, because I like to give if you if you take a closer look at all the characters, they have, you know, like different shades and stuff. So yeah, so then, you know, so this is something that you know, was very important to do. So I appreciate the feedback for the art, because it did take time to get it right, and then to find the right team, and months, you know, of hard work. It was a lot of hard work that we put into this. And yeah, this is definitely something like this type of, you know, this kind of like playing, you know, fiction with history. This is definitely like my thing. And you know, this is just the beginning of it. So,
y'all really nailed this.
Really, right?
You. I'm just looking at a lot of
So
details.
yeah. If you can keep that cover real quick, you see the woman with the white clothing.
Yeah.
So her name is Madame Marie, and she's a voodoo priestess.
Not that Madame Marie.
Oh
my gosh.
The voodoo priestess. I want to call it voodoo, but voodoo priestess.
Voodoo, but yeah.
Yeah. So she you know, because usually in you know, voodoo is often depicted in a very dark and negative way, you know, like creepy. And I wanted to, you know, give a different, you know, show it for what it really is, you know. So, you know, she's so she, you know, so this was very important for us to do as well. And this was also a way for me to channel some of my personal beliefs, because I do believe in you know, like, you know, people in Brazil, there's also, we have our own you know, beliefs as well that are often similar to voodoo or Santeria and things like that. And I've been called like devil worshiper before, and evil and things like that, you know. So this was also a way for me to channel that in a way, to show you know, that it's not this evil, creepy thing. That, I mean, I know, you know, every story has a place, you know, and it could work, but for my problem is when the narrative is too repetitive.
Right.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean,
when you said Madame, no, go ahead, Lady Mandalore. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say that Christianity was considered evil at one point too. So
yeah,
what do you? That means nothing. It's all about whoever controls the, like you said, the narrative. Of what they're trying to get across.
Yeah,
I can appreciate a really good artist because I'm looking at different skin tones. I'm looking at different hair textures.
Definition.
Just that alone, in seeing that, because we're big X-Men fans and we love Storm, and she's just now getting drawn with her hair being textured just now, you know. But when you said Madame Marie, and I'm like, not Madame Marie Laveau, Madame Marie. Oh God, you know. Oh God, you know, like, you know, and so when I see, you know, you're bringing more actual historical figures to the forefront and giving them some, because like I said, you spoon feed this to the people, they're gonna want to know more. They're gonna want to know more, you know. So yeah, this is dope. This is really dope, and I can't get over the coloring and the texturing, because it's actually good. The shading's good. I'm a sucker for art and writing. So,
I mean, yeah, I agree. It's that. Like I said, for me, I always go back to the art. And I know, like you said, you know, trying to find artists that can do ethnic people correctly. That's all. For some odd reason, you would think that for people of color, it's easier. You would think that if the artist was a person of color, it's like, hey, draw yourself. You know, it's you're
looking at 5 different shades of black people already.
Yeah.
Just on this cover alone.
So it's just like somebody got it down. Although I do like the fact of how Dracula looks with the top hat. The swag with the top hat.
That's just. I mean, and again, that's the smoothness.
Yes. I was going to sit there and say the fact of how you had Dracula, because again, depiction of Dracula, we always see an older white guy that looks like he's about 10 seconds from croaking. That's usually Dracula. But to see Dracula as a more regal, a little bit of New Orleans / Haitian style to it, I was like, I like that, just because you can tell it has some Haitian influences. You can tell that it has some voodoo influences on it, and it's not overly done. That's the thing that I love about that. It's enough, and it's not extra. If that makes sense.
It is. It's very smooth.
Yeah.
I'm in love with these covers. I'm in love with these covers, my guy.
It feels very modern and at the same time a throwback. And when we were going through the pictures, just seeing the influence of red and blue all the time, like that subliminal of the Haitian colors.
Yeah. Call it, Grill. Call it.
I think I like it. That's why I just going off this story alone, just seeing that right there is that smooth. That is with all the swagger of a demon of the night. Yep. And he does. It's like I don't need nothing fancy. I just need my hat. I just need my cape, and I just need my army. And look how smooth I can make it work.
And this is something that could be adapted. Like if you look at the way that it's drawn, it could definitely be adapted. We can now start fan casting right now.
Right.
Yeah. It looks like a storyboard for a movie.
Yes.
It does.
Yeah. Yes.
A fan cast though.
Oh. Okay.
Well, you're here on Blurred's Eye View. Why not? Let's go for it. Let's do it.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Let's speak it into existence.
Right.
Yeah.
This is the encouraging part now.
Yeah, I mean, because like people have been messaging me saying, "Oh, I can't wait for a live adaptation of this." So I'm like, why not? So
all right. So let's start with
the main one,
Toussaint. Yeah, let's start with Toussaint. Who would you fan cast for Toussaint?
Take a guess.
Ooh, that's a ooh. I don't know if I want to jump in that pool.
Can I get
Boyega is really on the tip of my tongue right now.
Yeah.
Oh, he would do the hell out of that. He would do the hell out of that though.
Nah, I want him for Dracula.
You want Boyega?
I want Common for Dracula.
Yeah, I can see
that guy is giving Common vibes.
Yeah, because Common can do an accent. I could see him doing Dracula. I could see that, but
Burb said it here. And they're just a fan. We manifest here.
To do Toussaint, who could be? Oh, good lord!
An actor who did a very famous trilogy, Killing Vampires.
Oh, what's his name?
Oh, Wesley.
Wesley's
not.
You know who I'm thinking? Oh, you know who I'm thinking actually? The black, I don't remember his name. The black guy from, and I know I hate to say the black guy, but from the black guy from the first Purge. He could do that.
I gotta pull his name.
I don't even remember the first Purge.
I have to look it up, but I just have to get that out there.
I got you, Lainey. I'm looking now.
You looking? Okay, you got that one. So
yeah, I got you.
I want to say he's the same guy that Issa cheated with
yes.
That's it.
Yeah. Ooh, wait a minute, bitch. Wait a minute. We talking. We on the same level now. Wait a minute. Say less. Edwin Hodge.
There you go.
Edwin Hodge. Okay.
Yeah, I can see him doing something.
Oh, okay. So then if we have Hodges,
that's Aldous' brother.
That's not his
Aldous' brother.
Oh, okay.
That's not his brother.
No,
that's not on the first, not the first movie, the first Purge.
Oh,
right.
Wait, okay,
back in 2013, right?
No, not the first movie Purge, not the Purge, the prequel.
Yeah, the first Purge.
The first Purge.
Oh,
that's y'all are thinking of the very first movie. That is,
you said the first.
Wait, Yolande Noel. Yolande Noel.
Yeah, okay.
Okay.
Oh, okay, okay, yeah.
I was about to say, if we talking Hodges, then Hodges could be the vampire. Stop playing.
Because I was thinking about something you said the first.
He definitely could do that.
Yeah.
All right, so
We're coming up with the cast right here.
So Madame Marie Laveau.
Stop it! You already know. You already know who it is.
It's going to be the queen. It's a shame that the cinematic
assassin.
Well, wait a minute. How old is she? How old is she?
It don't matter. What do you mean? She's eternal.
No,
she's timeless.
If she's a young eternal, then no. If she's a wise eternal, then yes.
Well, we'll always say Angela Bassett, but if we had to pick a second,
thank you.
If Miss Bassett, if the queen herself was not available,
Miss Kiki.
Oh, that would be dope.
Kiki
done. Done.
Kiki
done.
Palmer.
What?
Kiki? Oh, with a question mark.
No,
however,
real talk.
With an
real
exclamation
talk.
points.
No. Wait, real talk.
Sir.
She can embody Queen Angela too.
Yeah.
So she get,
I got you.
She's for the shits. She's for the shits. Absolutely.
What do you guys think of Viola Davis?
She can do it too.
She can too.
She can do it too.
Roll carpet.
It's,
Mind you, Madame Marie, her powers are gonna grow throughout the story in unexpected ways. She's gonna be a major player in the revolution.
So
yes, let's go.
Let's get this strike together. Let's get this come talk to us and Marcus. We got some ideas.
I mean, or because they're handing out waivers to these independent filmmakers. I'm just saying.
A24.
It's right in your wheelhouse. I'm just saying.
And Mayhem could co-wrote. Listen, Mayhem, we still think about
that man is sitting in Phoenix right now on a typewriter like Bet.
Yep.
Wait, it's the Kermit the Frog meme. Just.
Oh, I love this. But this is by far some of the best work I've seen. And you said this is your first book, so I can just imagine what you have coming out after that.
To be honest, I'm very surprised myself. Like for the very first book, to be working with such an amazing team, and being here on a podcast with you guys, and working with somebody, like Yavel Guichet, who has so much experience in comics, and he gave me the time to explain the story, where it goes, and he was like, he agreed to be part of it because I have a lot of
24 never disappoints. You're right.
I have very exciting stuff coming for this story alone. People just need to give the comic book a chance.
That's it. Once again, it's in the chat. I'm going to put it in the chat again.
I just want to impress upon people. I was looking at the Kickstarter. I'm going to be donating, but you only have 2 days left.
Yeah.
When are you going to be putting this back up in the event? And I'm not wishing this on you at all. When, because I think we as a culture, us, I'm labeling us here, we may have missed out on helping you. So do you think you can put it back up again?
There's still time. I believe.
Okay, good.
That's all.
I believe in us too. But I need this comic book.
Yeah,
right.
I want this book.
Right.
I need this comic book.
Yes. And this is the thing that could be.
We're almost halfway there. Yeah, you're almost halfway
Listen,
there.
This is the kind of thing that Otaku Noir needs to hear about.
Girl, stop. I mean,
okay.
So let me go while y'all talking to Marcus. Let me go ahead and send this information over to Hanif.
Immediately.
I'm doing it right now. This is
the kind of book could definitely be in boxes.
Yeah,
should be in boxes.
Yeah.
Time should be in. I'll even go for and say, you know what? Let third, fourth graders read this. They need to learn something.
Hey,
they need to learn.
If I read it and I'm like, oh, my daughter can read this, okay.
Green light.
Because that's what it comes down to. Because the whole idea of comics like this is the idea to just you plant that idea of like, wait a minute, who is this individual?
Yep.
As much as these kids have tablets and smartphones and whatnot, a simple Google search will lead them to something else, and all because they saw it. They saw it in the comic, or they said they see voodoo. It's like, oh, voodoo is terrible. Why is it so terrible? You look it up. Oh, this ain't terrible.
It's terrible for the people that need to have it happen to them. That's what I'm just saying, or the bad parts happen to them, I should say.
Yeah, but it's always that one thing it'll point them to the direction of them actually finding knowledge. That's the thing, finding the knowledge instead of just being told some BS. You're being told, oh, this is evil. No, it's not, because you understand
According to who? Yeah.
At the same. I'm sorry. Go ahead. I'm sorry, MJ. Go ahead.
No, sorry, I don't want to talk off.
No, you're good. Go ahead. No, dude, this is your time to shine. Go.
You see how there's so many films about Greek mythology, Norse mythology. I mean, you have Thor, a superhero, but then anything that's like African related,
very far
it's evil.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, and in fact, the Norse mythology, like Thor and these guys, they actually like demanded human sacrifice, while African mythology, there was no such thing. Yet anything that's related to African mythology is spooky and evil, but anything with Greek or Norse, it's awesome. Hercules, Thor.
It's a Disney movie.
Not realizing how effed up their mythology really is.
Listen,
listen,
in so many different ways.
Right. So,
but you're right though. It's they how they do. It's like how they do African American, how they do Haitian mythology, how they do all these other ones. They always have this notation. Well, if it's not Norse, if it's not Scandinavian, if it's not European, then it has to be evil or cannibalistic. I'm like, have you even looked at the African diaspora?
We're just
uncivilized.
We're just now getting to the point. We're just now getting to the point of seeing some of these African superheroes and touches in these based on Netflix. There's another cartoon that's on Disney Plus actually. I think it's Super 4 on Netflix about 4 young African girls. Dope. I think it's like 8 episodes. Dope episodes. Really fun to watch. And then the other one I can't think of it. Kismondo. That's the name of it. Kismondo. That's on Disney Plus. So
also very well done.
Yeah, also very well done. So seeing stuff like that and seeing being represented, finally. So these kids can see, hey, it's not just Thor. It's all cool and all. Don't get me wrong,
but tell it true.
Yeah,
listen. Greek mythology was the first hillbilly tragedy. Okay,
right off the hip.
I mean, you ain't wrong. You ain't wrong. That's why.
And we are nothing like it, and we're the ones that get painted as evil, bad, and all that.
Right, you're right. For Black mythology is some of the Black mythology and any other brown culture mythology has some really dope stories.
And
when you really look into it,
freaking many.
God, I fell in love with it. I fell in love with. Don't ask me how I did it. I stumbled across Anansi the Spider in elementary school. Elementary school. I stumbled across it. I would go to the library in the school and was just finding books to read, and found that and couldn't find another book. Once I left, I could never find that book again.
I want to thank my progressive second grade teacher for whatever reason being very immersed in African culture, because she actually did give us a few books about Anansi the Spider, and it was kid friendly. That's where I learned about it, and I was comfortable with it. So it's there. I guess if you live in New York City, you might have like a few like golden threads throughout your public school education. But outside of that, that bitch was gone. Like after elementary school, there was nothing at all left. Nothing at all left.
So I don't know. If you get lucky enough to have like I said, I was lucky enough. I had educators. I had a few education teachers that did not give a damn about the Southern public education system. They sat there and said, "You are going to learn." Shout out to Ms. Gilchrist. You are going to learn your history. The key word of that part was you're going to learn your history, and that's where you get to learn about the African diaspora. That's what we get to learn about. You get to learn about. Oh dear God, just every area. You can learn about Man of Muslim. You get to learn about the Moors. You get to learn about the fact that the lie. I always call it the big thing about the lie that America was the first country to liberate to abolish slavery. I'm like, no. and me and something about that today. Huh? What you say, lady?
No, I'm about to say I was watching about something about today where someone said that, and I forgot who I was watching. They was like, "You wouldn't count Sweden, Denmark, this, that." They said about 20 countries before America.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? It was absolutely like,
we couldn't be the first because we were that dependent upon it in order to make any kind of money to become the country that we have become. Well, not anymore.
That part. And I don't understand how you want to say that you were the first, even if you were, you still enslaved.
Pretty much.
Like, why are you?
You still did it.
First, thank you.
You did a murder.
You know that's like if I punch you and I'm saying, "Oh, I'm sorry," I punch you again. "Oh, I'm sorry." Come on now. Stop being honest.
But that's the lie. That's what I'm saying. That's the lie that keeps perpetrating. That's why I'm like, what was the thing to say? If you actually want to learn actual history, read comic books. I forgot which artist said that. If you actually want to learn history, read comic books, because comic books have always had a sprinkle of truth in anything that was ever said, and it led you to what actually happened. So
which is why X-Men is so important to the culture, to anybody. If anybody that has any kind of liberal-minded thinking, even though I don't like that label either.
I don't think it's about liberal. It's about what's truth.
Yeah,
I think that a lot of times, not all, because liberal sometimes is a mindset and is an opinion, but right now, and especially right now in where we are in our history and politics, liberal a lot of times represents truth at this point.
Yeah.
So I think you don't have to say liberal, just say what is
open-minded. At the bare minimum, open-minded. At the bare minimum, open-minded. Free to imagine too is.
I just go with this. I always sat there and said, you want to know the difference between hearing something that you know is true and hearing something that you know is false. If you hear something true, you don't question it. Like if you're being told, like again, if no one did not know about the story. Again, just using Marcus's comic story as a reference. If you knew nothing about it, but you read it, you're going to be 9 times out of 10, you're intrigued. But then you think about it, it's like, wait a second, why is this dude dressed up? And of course, if you've never known, why is this black person dressed up like he's entering the French Revolution? And that's all it takes. And then that's when you get to that point, you just simply go, oh, so this was an actual person that was based on somebody true. 9 times out of 10, it's never questioned. It's never questioned when you can research it and find something that you've never been told before. And that's why I was that's why I was saying that when it comes to education has always been this whole thing of whatever you want to spoon feed somebody, but you got to filter it so many times that you have to make it believable. It's like taking Norse mythology and giving it a Disney twist.
Yeah.
That's what I was saying. Like before, sorry.
No, go ahead.
Jinx.
Go ahead.
No, that's what I was saying. Like taking Viking mythology and turning it into a Disney movie, aka Thor.
Yeah.
You did
look
it.
at Greek mythology the same way. Like look how they romanticize it.
It was an animated Hercules movie.
Yeah,
but they had to. But look how much filtering that do. I mean, we did this. Like, do you really want to tell a story of Hercules, a guy that literally killed 2 sets of families? This man had 2 sets of families, murdered them both.
in a mad rage.
Right.
And realize what he exactly.
I said, that's not Hercules. That's a redneck on meth.
Jesus Christ.
I mean, if you take the formula that, and we're just using Disney. Disney's talking point right now. But if you take what they did, Iron Man, Captain America, Black Widow, the Avengers, Thor, the whole lineup, you have a massive group of people who've never read a comic book who do now, due to those movies, because see, they're interested.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they want to know more. They want to find out more. You take that same formula and flip it on its head. I mean, it's Lovecraft Country did it. You know, Disney's done it. You know, Fox did it before they got bought out with the X-Men franchise. They've all done that same formula. Now take that formula, put it in book form. They're like, oh, you catching their eye. Mm-hmm. That art catches your eye. Now let's read the story. And you're like, oh, this is dope. And then you find out Madame Marie Laveau is real. Toussaint Louverture is real. You know, these characters are real. Now I need to know. I want to find out about them now. You know, Harriet Tubman, Demon Slayer. Harriet Tubman, I know who Harriet Tubman is. And then the kid to go look and they're like, yo, this is dope. This person was dope as fuck. There's no other way to put it.
And then when you can actually translate your antagonists in your books to history.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm saying? Because like when you think about Harriet Tubman, Demon Slayer, who's the demons? Why did they point them out as the demons? Toussaint. That's what I said. I hope Toussaint is killing the French. Because then, once again, then you think about why. Mm-hmm. And they actually make real life, oh, they was that bad. Not the whitewash shit that's happening about education and history now.
Yeah, exactly. Imagine seeing the French is exactly how they see Toussaint.
Exactly.
Yeah, how they see him.
Here's a perfect example. Besides that, there's another great example. There was a gentleman on TikTok who, you know, everybody makes Paris, France to be this very romantic city and everything else. And he says, no. Let me show you what Paris really looks like.
The revolution, dirty anybody?
Yeah, right. Ooh, he's like, Lord. It's dirty as hell. It's trash. It smells like trash. And it's like, whoa, wow. You know, it blows your mind because a lot of people, quote unquote, don't get out the house. They don't see beyond the four walls. Yeah, they believe the hype. They don't see beyond the four walls. They just see what is fed to them. So why don't we take that formula of that and put it in a positive light? Like just take that same formula and say, hey, you like this. Wait till you get a load of this over here. And then they really take it in.
I really wish that there was a way to make a smooth connection between. So we've gone from movies to comics. I wish there was a way to go from comics to the library. I don't think we've figured out how to make that smooth transition because there is so much more information there. I mean, it's not sexy because it's not, you know, colors and artistry and bloodbaths or whatever.
Oh, you mean as far as like the history books, as far as
man, okay, like if you could open up your mind to create your own images from what's written on those pages. I'm a bit of a history buff myself. It's so intriguing. You get to like it flips this switch in your brain once you get a little bit of truth and you can see it written down and you have cited sources from reputable places. The news is a lie. It is so much more intriguing to get these first person accounts of things, and it's out there. Like all of this truth is just out there for the taking. The government cannot deny you. Like we're past that point now. The internet is
we not.
Oh,
they taking books.
I'm about to go on my
girl. I'm about to say we could do that. They taking books out of the libraries and all that now.
Yeah, they're doing their damnedest. They're doing their damnedest on that.
They know it just takes one spark. It takes one spark for somebody to be like, you know what, I'm gonna to go look this up for myself because it's there. But it's not hard. It is so not hard.
So I'm gonna read you a quick little note that Otaku Noir just sent me. Oh. Yes, I heard about the comic. Definitely on our radar for future boxes. Working on a collab with Stranger Comics right now.
Hey.
So listen, so Otaku Noir is definitely looking to work with you. So look out for Otaku Noir.
Me?
Yes,
you.
Oh,
yes,
bro.
Sorry, say that again. I kind of like.
So he says. So Hanif, Hanif and Cameron, who runs Otaku Noir, said we heard about your comic.
Oh, okay.
You're definitely on their radar.
Oh wow.
You're definitely on their radar for a future box.
Oh, okay.
So you will be hearing from that crew. Trust me. Yeah, you're. So everyone,
networking.
That's all it takes. That's it. One spark or one hat thrown in the air. That's all it takes. So I think what we have here is something, and like you said, Lady Mandalore, it's something that we have here. Say it, Obi. It's something that we have here that allows us to readily access information. The internet is wide open. I'm quoting Captain Malcolm Reynolds and the crew from Firefly. They can't stop the signal. They can't. They can try. It won't work.
You can't stop the signal.
You can't. So seeing this type of work from you and from people like Stranger Comics and everything else to put this type of Tuskegee Airmen, that's another great book because it touches on the Tuskegee Airmen, but it talks about their descendants, the children, or the great grandchildren, I should say. And so having these type of stories, our kids need to see that. We need to see that. It opens a platform, and it opens a platform for discussion to talk like we're doing now, to talk about, hey, you'd be surprised what else this person did that they don't teach you in school, or that they try to repress, or they don't put in the history books. There's tons of books out there. Now you're going to have a few kids saying, I'm going to the library because I want to know more. Every time it comes around a Black History Month or Brown Heritage Month or whatever, and Hispanic Heritage Month and Pan-African, everything, it opens that discussion. Like, I don't want to talk about that story about Martin Luther King unless it's something different that they don't want people to know, or that was repressed or held back, or whatever the case may be. I want to talk about what Toussaint did. I want to talk about what else Harriet Tubman did. I want to talk about what's his name, Nathaniel. He created the folding chair. Like, who would have known? Black man created the folding chair, and just that was all over the news. So to hear these type of stories and to hear about these historical figures who made major impacts in our lives that we don't know about helps, because they can't. Look what Florida's doing. We gotta stop this book. We gotta change the narrative. Why do you want to change the narrative? Because and gratefully, you do have a generation of children who are like, they're thinking, like, why would you want to do that? Like, what are you hiding? They're questioning it. They're rebelling back. They're fighting back. They're like, yeah, that doesn't make sense. Why change something that's true?
The worst thing that you can do is tell a child it's a secret. That's the worst thing you can do, is try to hide something from kids, because they will sniff that stuff out.
If they ban books, read them, because there's something in there they don't want you to know.
Yes,
that's right.
So I'm gonna put your Kickstarter up one more time. Go check this Kickstarter out. You got less than 3 days. It's 71 hours, I think it said.
Get on it, y'all. Stop fucking around. I know payday is tomorrow for some people. I need y'all to put a blessing upon this man.
My man is halfway there. He's almost halfway there. Get him there. Let's get him there, because we want to. And like I said, Otaku Noir, they're looking forward to working with you in the future. So Once again, another blessing. So you'll be hearing from Otaku Noir. But yeah, we're going to take a quick break. We're going to be talking about. Can you stick around with us, Marcus?
Oh yeah, for sure.
Okay.
I'll stay definitely.
So our last part of this show, we're talking about forgotten. We're talking about comic book cliffhangers.
Yeah.
We know there's a few out there that they talk about stuff, things happen in these comic books, and then they just leave it and they never revisit it. So we're going to take a quick break, and we're going to be coming back with our guest and the crew, and we're going to be talking about, well, you know, these comic book cliffhangers that's kind of throwing everybody against the wall. So stay tuned.
Yeah, welcome back to Fast Money, y'all. We getting ready to finish up the game here. Now your teammate done scored enough points. I think you just need to get one answer right to win. You ready?
Ready.
Okay, name a podcast. Blurred's Eye View. Who should have won that Oscar? Angela Bassett. Who did win the Oscar? Don't give a damn. Name a cartoon. Ed, Edd n Eddy. Name a guest from question 1. Carl Jones. Alright, that did it. Congratulations, you won the game. Hellspawn cosplay. Now, we only need a one name. Hieroglyphics. You can stop now. Josh Evans. Chase Bogan. Josh Brown. Y'all cut the commercial. He gonna be on this for a while. Blurred's Eye View. Be sure to peep the podcast on all platforms, or stream every episode on Always Press Record TV. APR TV now downloadable on Amazon and Roku. APR TV, the power of podcasting in the palm of your hand. Get it today.
So let me fix this here. All right, there we go. We all know we all read comics. We've been around them long enough. We know what's going on. But there's also times where the story just kind of drops off, right? They bring in new writers. It's a new story arc, and the previous story never continues. They basically J.J. Abrams the whole damn thing, right? Shout out to Cinematic Assassin for kind of getting us straight on the Star Wars last part of the trilogy. It kind of makes sense now. We have just a handful of them. Let me pull up my list. We have a handful of lists. Now, one of the stories, and this tends to rear its ugly head from time to time, but this generally happened during the Clone Saga of Spider-Man. And that was the birth of Mayday Parker, or as Mary Jane and Pete was told, the stillborn of the two. So here she is. Now, during the Clone Saga, their child was actually kidnapped by a female version of Dr. Octopus and was never heard from again. However, we did see versions of her in the A2 version, which is her in the Spider-Man suit. What's the other one? Spider-Man in Mary Spirit, Spider-Man, Your Vows. I think it's Mary Your Vows or something to that effect. We've seen her in Across the Spider-Verse, and we've also seen her in One Moment in Time. Those are all 4 versions that I have up right now. But here's the thing. These are in One Moment in Time, that was a version of Mephisto. A2 and the Vows storyline, those are different timelines. And of course, Across the Spider-Verse, well, that's a totally different timeline. But we're talking the 616 universe. What happened to Mayday? Nothing. We'll never know. We'll never.
Lost in the editing board somewhere in a Marvel office.
Or somebody got fired or moved over to DC.
Something. I can't remember who did the Clone Saga. I don't think I want to know. But there was definitely some moments where that kind of fell off. But yeah, she was stolen at birth. All during the Clone Saga, as if the Clone Saga wasn't convoluted enough. Yeah, that was pretty bad. What about Black Panther's unexplained recovery from a brain injury?
They will never explain that.
Yeah,
you might as well let that one go. They will never explain that one.
So
Heart-shaped fruit.
So during Christopher Priest's run, it saw T'Challa abandon the mantle of Black Panther in light of his brain aneurysm. this was in order for a new Black Panther, which was Casper Cole, to take over. However, by the time the series ended by issue 62, Cole had taken on the name of White Tiger, and T'Challa was back as Black Panther, and there was never another mention of the brain injury.
Because the run was that bad and the readers revolted. The reader, you ever see readers all come together and just sit there and say, yeah, they said that. They sat there and said no.
Listen, you are not about to give us Black Panther with traumatic brain injury. That's absolutely not happening.
So
not a football player, Black Panther, no.
Not a football player. There's just definitely moments there that they really don't talk. And this has been mentioned before. The Watcher was at Black Panther and Storm's wedding. We know that the Watcher shows up at times of an extreme change of the timeline of the world going forward, something earth-shattering and not necessarily in a bad way happens. And yet, we never found out what that earth-shattering moment was.
It's right up there.
He just wanted to see history.
Sticking out.
He just wanted to see history. That's
he just what you say. I'm just here as a guest.
Listen, I mean, you had Black excellence, marry Black excellence. Like,
I'm just here to see. I'm just here to see the Black people.
Have we seen anything like it since?
There you go.
I'm just saying. It was literally once in a lifetime. Literally.
And that's why he was there.
It was
that Watcher popped up like he was getting the last plate at a family reunion. I just came to get the plate.
That's it. I heard great things about Wakanda. I heard great things about the food. I'm just here for the plate and for the marriage. That's it. Nothing major, nothing to see here, folks. Nothing to see here. I'm just here to have a good time. I'm here to learn that electric slide they always talk about. That's what I'm here to do. And he did show up in slides, didn't he? He showed up in slides. The Watcher wears slides.
But he also, doesn't he hover? Isn't that kind of weird to see the Watcher do the electric slide, but that's really just hovering?
I believe so. So,
big ass baby Watcher.
So
I'm done. I'm done.
So, what about and Will, you know this one. Ralph Dibny and his wife became ghost detectives because Ralph Dibny died.
Oh dear God, not that line.
And they had became literally ghost detectives because anybody who could rival Batman in being a detective, it was the Question and Ralph Dibny.
Yeah, but it was good and terrible. Good and terrible.
And yet they canceled Black Panther and the Crew.
Yeah. Which was actually correct me if I'm wrong, the first run sold out. The first run of the Crew sold out, and they had to go back, put it back on reprint.
Yeah. I think it was going for 6 issues.
Yeah.
Because it was a limited series, but fans really did want to see more, but they're like, yeah, we're not coming back to that. What?
A group of black powerful superheroes actually getting stuff done with zero casualties and zero damage to planets and cities. We can't have that. We must have destruction. Where's Michael Bay?
Right. So everybody knows who Tim Drake is. He was the 3rd Robin. Technically 4th if you count Stephanie Brown, but whatever. Her run was short. But he left to become Red Robin.
Mm-hmm.
And we never really got a chance to get his run due to Flashpoint. And it was never revisited.
That was a terrible move on DC's part. Considering I'm like a red Robin line, and the fact I forgot who they had lined up as who would have been the villain in that. I want to say it was Two-Face, but I can't really remember. But we would have had something. I mean, it would have been good. I mean, it would have been good. It would have been great. But the people of DC, you know, they do a line and then do a line and then go to the roulette wheel and see what works first.
Yeah. So speaking of DC and doing a lot, their introduction of Dr. Manhattan. Yeah. Will knows where I'm going with this one. There was a character by the name of Pandora who had a certain ability, and she knew that Dr. Manhattan had somehow affected the entire DCU. And when I say the DCU, I don't mean the film version. I mean the comics version. That he somehow affected it. Here's my thought on that. Because she died before she could even reveal how she knew this stuff. One, that plot line just dropped. Two, the releases of that line, of that storyline, wasn't even on time.
No.
I got 2 issues. I can't even tell you how many issues it was that I just told my bookstore. I said, I don't even want it anymore.
Wasn't there like almost a solid month and a half between issues?
Yeah.
That's how bad it was. That's how really bad it was. When I tell you, not only was the massive plot hole they never answered, it was like DC and its distributors were just not. It was like watching the end of Dipset after that one-hit wonder went away.
Not Dipset.
It was like watching Cameron and Jules Santana argue over who's still going to be hot past this song. That's what it looked like.
Turned out it was neither one.
I'm Kira. I kid you not. It was bad. It got so bad that the readers actually stopped sending letters in. Like you usually see they have those reader responses at the end of comics. They did one issue where the reader was like, "I'm sorry, I just have to give up on the fact that my kid is going to be 1 year old before I get my next issue." And it was right there. I mean, they actually had the nerve to actually print it.
Yeah, it was bad.
I mean, I respect that though. I do respect that, but yeah.
So
that is definitely one way to get your point across.
Yeah. So now this last one is and we'll probably I'm sure we'll come back to this because comics to this day still do this. They still. Anybody remember Gotham and Gotham Girl?
No.
See.
No.
See.
Oh.
Like they just brought in these 2 random characters who are Superman-esque, but they had some problems, and Batman is trying to help them, and then it seemed like the brother dies, and then the sister is strung out.
Wait, I do remember. Yeah. Oh my god, that was fucking horrible. That was really bad. That was really bad. Did they even finish?
They got the idea for Gotham Knights. Yeah, that's where they got the idea for it.
Oh shit!
That was the idea for Gotham Knights. Well, the CW sat there and said, "Oh, we're gonna get rid of all the Arrowverse shows, but we're gonna keep this one because it's Batman without Batman."
Yeah, it was bad. They didn't clean that up. But this last one, and like I said, we're gonna revisit this because, like I said, comics still to this day they just drop plot lines.
With good reason.
For good reason. We're gonna go to the live action segment. And one of the biggest, and Marvel does it too, so don't get it twisted. But the previous run of the DC cinematic universe, and that's Justice League, and it gave us so many plot holes.
I'm sorry, Will. Your attention is needed in this junction. At this junction. I'm sorry.
Obi, do you want a bottle? You want a bottle?
He said, "Please hold." System rebooting.
Marvel may not be able to tell a good story no more, but at least they tried to bring all their plot holes together.
Just not the original.
There was so many plot holes. Many plot holes. Prior to finding out he was an actor, prior to us finding out that they were a problem in real life, there was the whole Flash showing up during Bruce's nightmare dream. There was the actual nightmare dream that Bruce has. You know, where it's just like, all right, is this the future? What are we doing here? You know, so many plot holes.
If Marvel, you know, wants to contact me, you know, do some.
Hey,
I welcome it. Send in your resume immediately, please.
I didn't hear what he said.
You say it one more time. Say what you say. What you say one more time.
No, I said that if Marvel ever wants to contact me, you know, I can.
Listen, that part.
There were so many plot holes from the DCEU, and I'm not talking Man of Steel. I'm not talking BVS. I'm not talking Wonder Woman or 84. I'm talking Justice League.
Oh, just that travesty of all the Snyder fanboys that still love to come to my video game podcast and argue their points. Let it go. Let it go, guys. Let it go.
When is this? I gotta see this.
Oh, they still
video game podcast. I gotta see
that and REA the Geek, REA the King. Him and me, we always go back and forth over Justice League. He is a Snyder. He is a Snyder fan disciple, and me and him.
REA is a big fan.
That's Geek Salad.
Geek Salad. Yeah. Love them guys, but REA definitely is. REA definitely be on the Snyder
tip. He will die on that hill, and I will give him respect. He will die.
Shout out to Geek Salad. But yeah, it's definitely some moments where you're looking at that film, you're just like, there was no payoff.
None.
There was no payoff. I mean, even in the Snyder, was it the Snyder? Yeah, it was the Snyder cut. Even in the Snyder cut, when you get that conversation between that Jared Leto's Joker in Batman, which was not a bad conversation, by the way.
Just in the wrong movie.
Just in the wrong film. Mm-hmm. You're just like, one, where was this Joker all the damn time? Two,
I'm still mad about the fact he did the White Knight Joker. That's what I'm like. You did the White Knight Joker.
The White Knight Joker with the straight jacket.
At the whole time, you're gonna give him the same speech. Well, Batman knows all about losing loved ones, don't you?
Yeah.
And the whole time, Batman's like, one word, and I will end you right here.
I'm like, I just read this storyline. Did you just snatch this up out the book? You know, so
yeah. And that was, I mean, aside from the multiple issues with Justice League, you had Martian Manhunter pop up at the end. So literally, the one guy that could go toe to toe, if not with Darkseid, can go with his uncle, who y'all pretty much nerfed as a sniveling uncle. I will praise Darkseid, but aren't you his? Okay, but you had Martian Manhunter show up again.
This is what we're doing. Okay, yeah, all right.
Just that's why I turned around. See, Kira, that's why I turned around. The moment Justice League got mentioned, I was like,
Them's your friends. I was gonna let you. I'm not gonna talk bad about other people's friends. Them's not for me. I'll talk about mine.
No, I'm not
talk about somebody else.
Don't get me wrong. I am a DC fan because Batman was the first comic I ever read as a kid. So I've always had that love for him. But we gotta call. But again, it must be called out. Animated movies, DC's got it made. Live action movies.
I'm going to watch some animated movies after we're done with the show.
Yo, I've been actually watching. I watched Vixen this week. I watched Wonder Woman this week. I watched Superman versus Brainiac. I'm like having a great time.
Yeah,
they have a rewatchable factor.
Yeah,
you said traitor. But no, real talk. What is it? That Wonder Woman Bloodlines? Was it Wonder Woman Bloodlines?
Yeah,
probably some of the best Wonder Woman I've seen was in battle.
I mean, that's why I was saying for a lot of these movies, I'll even go back. It's like, back to still one of my favorite Batman movies, Mask of the Phantasm, which is what, 40 years old? 30 years old?
I think it's about 30 years old. I think it's close.
I mean,
that's the anniversary is this year.
Yeah, the anniversary's coming up. So I'm pretty sure it's 30 years old.
The 90s?
Oh.
Yeah.
90s.
Sure.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's when, the funny part is, now I think about it, Mask of the Phantasm was actually
your back hurt now, don't it?
First animated.
Shut up.
You said sore knees, poor bad back, everything.
Oh. It just hit you.
Hurts.
My neck, my back, my neck,
my back.
Look,
my neck and my back.
I had the area I used to work in. They call it the sterile room, and I would just be bending and picking up trays and stuff all the time. It was fine, and I did it one time. I did it for like 12 hours straight, because I worked over. And I got home, and my wife was like, "Yeah, you might want to go ahead and soak for a little bit because your back might be sore." And I'm like, "No, I'll be fine." Go the next day, I'm like, "Shit."
Everything was like damage report.
Batman lied. I was just
your wife.
He was like, Batman lied. He did this well into his 60s. These are lies.
Oh, but no,
cybernetic spine.
Under the Red Hood, Under the Red Hood did definitely give Rocksteady the idea for the Arkham series. I will agree with that, because I think Arkham Asylum came out after Under the Red Hood, the first Arkham Asylum, then Arkham City, then Arkham. Oh no, Arkham Knight was the last one. There was
Arkham Asylum,
Arkham City, Arkham.
There was one where Batman was facing what's his face? It was Arkham Origins. There we go. That's what it was. Arkham Origins.
Wait a minute. Pause. Full pause. Bam, I'm gonna need you to calm the fuck down real quick. I know you sleepy. I don't want to have a conversation at 11:06 at night.
You are entitled to your opinion, sir. You are entitled to
I am trying to start the reading, so I can't even weigh in on this.
Oh, that's what he says. Asylum, City, and Night. Origins we don't speak of.
Oh, Origins was legit.
Origins is not bad.
Origins was good too, but I mean, Arkham Knight was that piece de resistance. That was that was it. And I still want that damn Batmobile.
Yeah. I think we need to do our next show. I think Lloyd and Natasha come on next episode. I think Lloyd and Natasha come on next episode. But we'll talk about it too. So we're getting ready to close out because there's a crap ton of comic book cliffhangers that are out there. Trust me, they've been doing them since the 70s and the 80s and the 90s and early 2000s. Even now. Look at the Ultimate Universe. There was just moments, supreme moments that they never really got back to. And they're talking about coming back to that universe, and I'm like, so you're going to restart the universe that is no longer existing?
Pretty much.
Got it. Okay.
Or the Blue Marvel ending that never got answered.
Oh my God.
I'm sorry. I don't mean to extend it. I don't mean to
really did that. They really did do that. The Blue Marvel ending we never got. Century fell flat. I'm just saying and they're trying to bring that back.
We save it.
How do you remember all of this?
Hold it for next week.
Encyclopedia Black is what y'all called me.
God, both of y'all.
I don't.
And even shouts to Park. I see him in the chat. I'm talking that too. How y'all remember
talking it back? All y'all. Jesus. Go to bed.
It's like the Chronicles of Narnia. We was there when it was written.
Look.
I mean,
there's even a Daredevil run that Kevin Smith started and never finished.
Pretty much, and it was good.
Yeah, that was recent-ish, sure.
And it was actually was a good series, but they don't want to give the fat man a shine.
So we're getting ready to get out of here.
I see you, Bama.
Bama's gonna catch the hands. So Marcus, tell everybody where they can find you.
Yeah, so you guys can find me on my Instagram, mvj.comics, and you can learn more about the comic book Toussaint Louverture, The Battle for New Orleans. There's like 70 hours left of the Kickstarter.
Get on that.
Yeah.
People get on that. Get on that. Yeah. Pass the word around. Get on that.
Actually, please, go on your socials and start linking that on your socials so this can actually happen because it is absolutely needed.
Right.
Don't go to bed and forget about it in the morning.
It's in the chat. It's in the chat for the third time.
Please.
So there's no excuse that y'all didn't know.
Much.
We'll feel like a telethon. Our operators are standing by now.
Exactly.
Yeah, you even get a lot of things when you are different tiers too. I was looking at that.
Dude, the $35, the one that I'm looking at, I'm good. I plan on giving more, but the $35 alone, you're getting a lot.
I'm on it. I'm on it.
A lot.
I am on it. Marcus, man, I got to give you this because just the artwork and the writing and just all of that alone and bringing that to life is beautiful. I got to give you this.
Yeah.
My friends, we are looking forward to more. Yeah. Man, this door is open anytime. You can always hit me up, man. Whenever you got a new project, just want to chat it out with us. I hope we made you feel comfortable.
Oh, yeah, no, I feel fine. Yeah.
See, we got you mellowed out. I told you, we got you. We got you.
We don't bite. You come on the next time. You're gonna be talking. We're gonna let you. Well, wait. Can you speak Portuguese?
Who will?
Yeah, no, man. Throw it in there. Whatever you want to. This is
second language. English is actually my second.
Yeah, so whenever, man, just let us know, man. Just you know where to find me. Yeah. So, all right, Lady Mandalore, talk to the people, please.
Hi, good evening. I am very close to the camera. Good evening. So, Lady Mandalore is my name. You can also find me on Instagram at Roomful of Blurs. I'm learning very much, as you can see. You can find me on Instagram. You can find me on Sundays live 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on YouTube and on Twitch, where I bring on lesser known content creators, artists, and the like, and try to give them a little bit of boost. You can also find me on TikTok as Child of Mandalore, where I also have some of my voice acting stuff posted up on there, just in case anybody's looking. And I have a podcast of the same name, but I actually talk about the history of Mandalore, where I also do a little bit of voice acting on there too. The first Saturday of every month, I have an audio chat room on Fanbase. Anyone and everyone is invited. Please come through. We talk about everything that's happened within the last month, or even stuff that you want to bring up that's a little bit older, but it's still a goodie, like this Montgomery Tea Party that we had recently. We're gonna talk about
the Alabama Slam, Sweet Tea
Alabama Slammer.
Oh yeah, the Alabama Sweet Tea Party. Yeah,
the fade in the water.
Fade in the water.
Yes, fade in the water.
Griot or horror Laney from Geek by Heart, talk to the people.
Hey, what's up? I am Lainey from Geek by Heart. Me and my husband run Geek by Heart on YouTube. We talk about movies, we talk about trailer reviews, and Jay is actually going to be streaming every Saturday between 10 and 12. He is going to be doing God of War right now. He's going through the Greek Pantheon. He's at God of War 3. Then he's going to be doing God of War 2018, and then finally God of War Ragnarok. So check him out on his series. He streams every week on Saturdays 10 to 12. You can find me at Geek by Heart on IG. You can find me on TikTok, Geek by Heart. And you can find me writing for The Man on the Wall, Blurred's Eye View, talking about horror all day long, all night long. And I just say make sure that you do what you love. It is never too late to do what you love.
Yes, Lord. Our engineer, the one who power lifts space warp engines and is very modest about it. Black Fox, like the Black Spartan.
Oh Lord, I was going to help Laney out. I was like, she watches horror movies, so you don't have to.
You can. I forget to say that.
I was waiting for that moment of just that movie voice. I can only do it so many times. But yes, I am Black Spartan. Otherwise, I was Black Fox 447 on all socials. I usually do reviews on everything that I read, that I watch, that I play, and gym stuff because I'm trying to stay in shape. I'm trying to live, people. I'm trying to live right. Well, not according to Jehovah's Witnesses. But anyway. That also being said, I do a couple podcasts of my own, guys. Of course, my daily news political podcast called How the Frack We Got Here every Wednesday and Saturday. My video game podcast called Get Bit Podcast every Friday. Both shows are always on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch. And you can find my podcast anywhere that you can watch or see or do a combination of, however you feel about it. I am also one of the many heads of the blurredeyeview.org site for writing articles. Mine is for wrestling. Why? Because wrestling is real and people are fake. Shout out to Mr. Kennedy for that one. Aside from that, guys, I usually sit there and say, much like our esteemed comic book writer in the room along with us, please share, please support, please do whatever you can to help somebody else that's trying to do something different, whether it's a comic book, a podcast, a show, or anything of that nature. Again, show some support. If you can donate, cool. But again, a share is free. Support them the same way you would support Beyonce if you knew you existed. At the same time, guys, we are in con season, so I always say there are always 3 rules I love for people that go by when they go to cons. Number 1, respect the cosplayer at all times. These people actually go out there to put on their best in fandoms, and they deserve to be treated like every other body else that comes there just to have fun and speak fandoms. Again, respect all cosplayers. Number 2, wash your ass. Soap and water, soap and things of that nature are still available for $2 at any travel place, at any location of stores, whether it's Walmart, Piggly Wiggly, or the guy that runs that convenience store that also sells those shoes that'll just disappear in 2 days. You know what stores I'm talking about. Don't get judgmental. You get your wigs from there. That also being said, number 3 is the same rule that I go by, the same rule that you should go by at every con. Simply put, be nice, be polite, and most importantly, don't be a dick, and we'll all be cool.
I honestly thought you was gonna go wash your ass. But that too. So everybody, thank you for tuning in. Thank you for checking us out. Thank you for showing your support. Number 1 on the list is going to be done really soon. Blurred's Eye View will be having a Patreon. We will have behind the scene things that you will not get to see live and will not be on the YouTube channel. So you will be able to show your support. We also have merch coming, so stay tuned for that. Tafari said, hey, put the seedlings out there. So the seedlings are out there. You just got to start watering them. But show your love by going to the IG page, Blurred's Eye View, right all there, and you'll find the link tree in the bio. It'll lead you to all the places where you find us, to all the great places. Shout out to Always Press Record. You can watch us on alwayspressrecord.com through Amazon or Roku Fire. You also want to show your love on the YouTube channel while you get all these great pieces and interviews that we're posting up and snippets and the whole 9. You're going to have fun. Trust me. And you're going to laugh and you're going to learn something and you're going to be encouraged by doing more, by just like our guest was here tonight. You also don't want to cut things short like they did with Black Panther's run in Jungle Action, because I should know I have that fucking series and it was one of the best series. Shout out to Don McGregor. And that was a great series. And they
I feel like I never hear you curse. That is crazy.
They cut it off right at they literally changed creative teams right after the KKK issue. Yes,
and they changed it afterwards. They hated it afterwards. It was perfect.
It was perfect. It was what was it, Homelander?
I gotta tell you, it was perfect. Everything down to the last minute details.
Carrie, you can come back.
they took it from us. But yeah, show your love on there. Shout out to Otaku Noir. We are a proud affiliate of Otaku Noir. Just type in Blurred's Eye View when you're cashing out. That's what it is. When you're going to Otaku Noir, the #1 blurred blind box mystery company, bam, I got it. Just go type in Blurred's Eye View for your shipping code and you'll get free shipping off of Blurred's Eye View, the code. They have some dope stuff. They've already said they want to work with Marcus. They're already working with Stranger Comics. They got a lot of stuff coming up. You want to get on those boxes that they have. You will not be disappointed. They have some great product done by blurs and POCs from all stages, with some of the greatest books, t-shirts, toys, cereal boxes.
Cereal sounds kind of good right now. Go ahead,
all that great stuff. But you want to check them out. You want to show your love and go support. Go to that Kickstarter. It's up there. It's in the chat. Check it out. It's in the description for the show. Please show your love. He's got less than 3 days. Go over there. Get that. We need more product like this out there on the shelves, in the shipping containers, wherever it is you can get it. You need it. You need it. Look at me. You need it. You want it.
Go,
you need
go,
it. Right you
go
want
put,
it.
Get your money up. Get your money up.
Don't make me put Lady Mandalore on your ass.
I'll find you.
Want it.
Come on, Will. We all doing it. We all doing it. Let's go.
I'm too old to be doing Zoom ups. I'm too old.
Don't do that to yourself.
No, that means you need to do it even more so. We need the backup.
Right.
Be like a stretched out pit bull in this camera. I'm good.
Then let him see it. Put the fear in him. But once again, I want to thank our guest Marcus V. Jardim for such a dope looking series. We got your back, man. And for the listeners and for the readers out there, go check out the Kickstarter. You will not be disappointed. This is history in the making. This is some great art. This is some great writing. You want this. You need this. Please show your support. This is how you get more things by us, for us, to spread that message out there, to get the truth out there on top of that. So go show your support. Go over there and get some of that action. But like we do every show, remember to educate yourself and others, entertain yourself and others, and encourage yourself and others. Thank you for our guests in this dope crew. We will see you Tuesday at 8:30 p.m. Eastern on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and Thursdays at 9 p.m. Same channels. This ship is taking off. I hope you had a good time. I know we did. We will see you soon.
Thank you.